I think it depends, Humphrey. If you don't have the time to research a lot of stocks, you know, probably you want to do five, and that's assuming you really want the smoke. This the market can be pretty difficult, but the more stocks you pick, the less alpha you probably get. So if you want the smoke, I would just do five stocks and just have a crazy portfolio. That's probably one of the few ways, like Buffett said, he can make 50 to 100% a year if he had to start all over. That's basically the way he would do it, because that's the way he did it when he was younger. He had three stocks at one point, but usually you had like 5 to 10 stocks. I know it sounds crazy, but if you have if you're looking at tons of stocks, you have to do two things. One, you have to look at a ton of stocks. Two, you have to have extreme conviction in those 5 stocks. So when you find stock number 6, it has to be able to be good enough to join the group of other stocks. Most people will say, okay, I can make 30 or 40% on stock 6. I'll add it to my portfolio. But we sometimes call this a hurdle rate. You have to say my hurdle rate is I need a double in every position I take. Otherwise, I'm not going to take it. I don't care if I can get 50%. I need at least a double. And if you just have that really rigorous approach, you can do really well. Yeah, I think that there's a couple of formulas. There's one that Steve Cohen kind of taught Wall Street. You can actually model out, you believe it or not, your results. So if you have you can actually do position size, turnover, number of positions, win rate, win percent versus loss percent. So you can kind of take these ideas, and then you can kind of do standard deviation. And you can actually do either Monte Carlo simulation or just plain numerical analysis. So there's a lot of ways to, you can figure out the formula. It's not too hard, but the yeah, exactly. There's a lot of ways to model this, but in general, as position sizes go up, your portfolio standard deviation will go up because your individual positions are not going to hedge idiosyncratic risk. But turnover is one of the most misunderstood ones. If your turnover is really high, your portfolio standard deviation drops a lot, and you can afford to have a fewer number of positions. But position size and number of positions are different. So it's very, very interesting, actually. You can have a very low position size with a very low number of positions, but if you have extremely high turnover, this is kind of like a really interesting model where basically you don't lose money and you can still have a pretty healthy return. The Renaissance model, but your win rate should be fairly high. And this is kind of the output, right? The output is returns and standard deviation, or what we sometimes call vol. So here, the returns are good and the vol is extremely low if you trade like this. Oh man, this is gold right here. Now, what most people do is say this, which is bad, this, and this. And all this will result in is average returns with very high vol, which is not what you want. Yeah, getting in and out, correct. Which is completely misunderstood, which I can explain some other time, but it's the more you turn over your portfolio, the better, theoretically. Some people even call this velocity. But anyway, Renaissance. So this would be like, I can't even say the name of the guy, but you know, this would be like I don't know, very desirable. This would be average retail. Yeah, if you don't like to pay taxes, then sorry. Yeah, no, for hedge funds, they don't pay taxes at all, so they don't care at all. But I wouldn't worry if I were you about taxes. You know, you want gains, right? Hopefully, you want gains. No, this is quant. No, what is this? This is the average retail, right? Oh, I just copied and pasted this, so this is the same as the average retail. So quant. So this is kind of the best. If you can manage this, this is the best way to do it. Very few humans can trade 10,000 stocks, though. Here's another model. This is maybe Buffett. This is the Buffett model, which probably makes sense for most people, and this is kind of what somebody asked about, I think. Or basically Humphrey. Then I'll show you kind of the Steve Cohen model. This is also extremely good. Oh no, my kitty's thrown up. Oh, poor kitty. So there's a lot of ways to skin the cat. You have three like really good kind of balancing acts. Turnover is a function of two things. So it's like, maybe I'll put that here. Duration. Basically just duration, right? It's like how fast do you get in and out. This poor cat just vomited right next to me. Yeah, Sava shortable yet? No, not yet. Oh, maybe it is. No. They're looking for a locate. Hence the binoculars. They'll find a locate. You know, somebody will lend it out for 80%, 90%. You little dumbbell. Cat's fine. So I guess like you have to keep turnover is like a mix of different things, including like just your duration. So his duration is position duration is years, minutes, weeks, and the exposure is different. Like because like here he's always got like keeps extra powder so low. So even though he's got a lot of he's got very little positions, and the positions he does have are a very high percentage of the portfolio. He's still always keeping extra powder, so his actual turnover is less than you could even imagine because he's always got spare cash. Here the exposure is portfolio is pretty full at all times, maybe even slightly leveraged, and here is extreme leverage. So like what they get to do is really exploit this, right? Their throughput is so high and duration because of the extremely low duration, and extremely high leverage. They basically have it's like a money machine, and it's got extremely high throughput, but they don't win very much when they win. It's like a 50.1% win rate or something. So the engineers have to work on this. Whereas like Buffett's always looking at this. How do I add more high quality positions? So anyway, I hope that helps. Yeah, I like Epsilon. It's okay. The settlement happened a while back, right? Settlement is not new news. Okay, it's coming back down a little bit.